Let's unfold this 8x10 camera. First, we'll unlock it from the top so that the focusing rail here can come down. And we'll twist this to lock the focusing rail in place. We can then loosen this up and bring out the front standard. Now the lens that is on here is what's known as a convertible lens. This particular one has the ability through switching over lens elements in the front and in the rear so that it can act like a 12.4-inch lens, a 19-inch lens, or a 25-inch lens. The front standard here gives you rise and fall control. Loosen it up on one side and then we can do the rise and fall. On the other side, it also has the ability to give us swings and side shifts and in the middle part here it can give us axis tilt on the lens. An 8x10 camera like this, because it can make use of long focal length lenses just in normal use. There can even be a back standard, a back rail rather, that can be fitted on here, and then the back standard can here be unlocked and brought further back, giving you full extension. Now, the back can be situated so that it can give you horizontal or vertical. And the back part here, the back standard can give you some, loosen it up on the other end here, can give you some tilt. Which is an axis tilt in this case, because the pivot point is up here, and it even gives you a little indicator here which can slide along and let you know when things are level. So that is with the 8x10 camera. And of course here's the 8x10 film holder that can be slipped into the back. And when we're done with it, we can bring it back like this. And we'll lock that in place. almost there. We'll loosen this up so that we can bring this up. And we have this up here, which we can put back into place for storage. And that is that. The particular shutter on here, you can screw in a older style cable release. And it has settings on it for T for time. It will keep the shutter open and then close it with another trigger there. It does not have a separate cocking mechanism on this particular lens and shutter configuration. It also has a bulb setting and speeds of 50, 1/50th, 1/25th, 1/10th, 1/5th, 1/2, and 1 second. And the apertures vary, of course, with their aperture numbers depending upon the focal length that is selected through reconfiguring the lens elements. So for like a 12.4 inch lens, f7 for wide open, 19 inch lens, 12.5, and 25 inch lens, f16. Okay, how exactly does a convertible lens give you multiple focal lengths? Well, it has to do with how the front and rear elements are used. When used both together like this with the longer focal length barrel in the front, then it gives you the wider focal length. In this case, it will give you the equivalent of the 12.4 inch lens. If we take off the front barrel and just have the rear one in place where it is, then that gives you the equivalent of the 19 inch lens. And if we replace the 19 inch with this other one that had been on the front, then it'll end up giving the equivalent focal length of the 25 inch. So that is how that works. You have the individual barrels attached to the rear part of the shutter, which leaves the front exposed, but nevertheless it will give you the proper focal lengths. let's put this back on, like so, on the front, and then the rear one on the back. Then we go back to having our 12.4 inch lens.